I would find assessing wealth a very, very difficult thing to do, apart from the fact that if you take away 2% of someone's wealth every year, it's not all that long before you have no wealth left.
You know, Tyler, it's ludicrous, okay? That's why they call it an income tax, so we can tax everybody on their income, which is the right way to do it. First off, I could have your top 4 accounting firms come in and do an audit on my balance sheet, and they would all come up with a different number, because what is the value? You can never establish the exact value of an asset until you sell it. And so it makes no sense. And then people own assets and ranches and office buildings. Even take a sports team. Let's just take a sports team that all of a sudden this is all the family owns, and it's worth $3 billion. And so they're going to tax it at $90 million a year. But let's say the sports team only makes $30 or $40 million a year. So how does that work? And so it could be any asset in any class. But it's real estate. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I can't even believe that they're even going there.
Yeah, I would think, you know, it would be very hard, for example, to appraise a piece of art. If you had a piece of art, what's it worth? It may be worth $10 million today and $6 million tomorrow and $40 million 2 years from now. It's very hard to do. And if you were to say, for example, we're only going to tax liquid securities, for example, or something like that, stocks and bonds, mutual funds, SPACs, whatever, then you would have people running away from that asset class to put it into other things. So again, this is why I like the idea of taxing income and taxing every piece of income at the same flat rate. No preferences for capital gains, no preferences for dividends, no preferences for carried interest, no preferences for other kinds of income. Make it all be taxed the same, and rates will come down.
Tyler, you're right, but that's the problem, is you make sense, okay? I don't know if because she hasn't been in the limelight since the presidential run or whatever, but to even think that this is going to happen, I mean, because of this minimum wage, I have people that have talked to Bernie Sanders and his team, and there's things that they didn't even understand. And so they come out and they say, oh, let's have this minimum wage tax, or let's have this new minimum wage. And they don't think about, well, the cost of living is 30% higher in New York and in L.A. versus the South. So how do you even have the same minimum wage? Do we need to upgrade the minimum wage and stair-step it up? 100%. We need to take care of all the working people in America. But you have to do these things right.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about business, but particularly about the stimulus package that's moving through. It's now in the Senate. Looking back to the first major stimulus package a year or so ago, how did it work? How would you grade it? And what would you have the administration of this stimulus package do differently to make it work better for the American worker?
Well, I don't think it's working better whatsoever. The stimulus package of just sending everybody a check is what happened last time, and it seems to be happening again, because I know people that are worth a lot of money that are getting stimulus checks, and we're not getting the money in the right hands, and that is why savings are continuing to rise in America, which is always great, but at the same time, this is supposed to be so you can live on it. It's supposed to be a check to go out and buy food and buy groceries and pay your rent. So if the savings is going up in America every single month, then absolutely it's not working. And you go back to the PPP funds, okay? Law firms got it, investment banking firms, all your huge construction companies. If you had under 500 employees, I know so many friends that are bankers and lawyers, and their law firms got it, and they never needed a penny of it, okay? We handle these things wrong in the U.S., and we've always got to get the money to the right people, and I don't think we did it last time, and I don't think we're doing it this time. But the other side of it is, just get it out there. Just get it out there, because you know what? I'll say it again. I get X amount of it.
You get X amount of it for your business, the PPP loans, but you didn't get...
For my casinos, for my restaurants, for my hotels. They spend the money.
Right. But you said a moment ago, you know people who have lots of money who got those $2,000 stipends, or now it's going to be a $1,400 check. I thought only people getting earning $75,000 or households earning $75,000 or less got that money. Wasn't that the way that it was supposed to work?
Tyler, I don't think it's right. I don't think they're right there, okay? I know people that earn a lot of money that have gotten checks. So, you know, what the government says and what happens isn't always the same thing, okay?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.